In part 2 of Jackson County at 200, we move on to its 200-year history as a U.S. county. When Jackson County, Florida was created by the Florida Territorial Legislative Council on August 12, 1822, it stretched from the Choctawhatchee River on the west to the Suwannee River on the east. The population was tiny, only a few thousand people, counting Seminole and Creek Indians, scattered over tens of thousands of square miles. It was a lot of land, but the handful of U.S. settlers decided that there was not enough to share with the Native Americans. In September 1823, the Treaty of Moultrie Creek forced the Indians onto reservations. 2 small reserves were created in today's Jackson County for Econchattimico, Yellowhair, and Vacapachassi. The last of these 3 was a noted black Seminole leader. Other counties were soon carved out of the original area allotted to Jackson, and by 1826 it approached today's shape and size. By then, around 2,100 inhabitants lived in 213 homes. Roughly half of the homeowners held enslaved Africans and some Native Americans in bondage, a trend that continued until 1865. The county's first church since the days of the Spanish missions of the 1600s was dedicated at Campbellton on March 12, 1825. Then called Bethlehem Baptist Church, today's Campbellton First Baptist is the longest-serving Baptist congregation in Florida. The largest communities in the county in 1825 were Campbellton, Millville on Irwin's Mill Creek, Greenwood, the Chipola settlement, which would soon be called Webbville, and the American Indian settlements of Toctoetla, Tomotley, and Attapulgos. The last of these moved in after the Treaty of Moultrie Creek. Now, Jackson County had no permanent county seat or courthouse during its early days. The different meeting places of the courts, and technically the first county seats, were Jackson Blue Spring, the Big Spring of the Choctawhatchee in today's Washington County, and the Widow Hull's place overlooking Waddell's Mill Pond. Sarah Hull's home became a de facto county seat for roughly 2 years in 1825. The courts and local commissioners met there until January 20th, 1827, when the Legislative Council designated a new community, Webbville, as Jackson County's first official county seat. But trouble was brewing. Well, our little journey has brought us here to the top of Webbville Hill. If you don't know where this is, I'll give you pretty simple directions for finding it. You go north from Marianna on State Road 73. When you come to Union Road, it comes in from your right just before you get to US 231. You turn right on Union Road, you follow it up to the top of the hill, the first hill you see, and you're in Webbville. That's downtown Webbville. You wouldn't know it today because if you come here, there's just not a whole lot to see. You come and you look around Webbville and all you see is a dirt road running over the top of a hill. There are no buildings left. There are not even any ruins of chimneys or anything like that left. The town has vanished off the face of the earth. But at one time, this was one of the most prosperous settlements in the entire panhandle of Florida, maybe even second only to Pensacola at the time it was founded. A thriving little town, Webbville had stores, a hotel, houses, government offices, and more. But it did not have a clear title to the land on which it was built. You see, Webbville stood on a 16th section, and those were reserved by law for the benefit of education and schools. If Webbville hoped to survive and be Jackson County's long-term seat of government, it needed an act of Congress.